Okay, guys, we've had a few technical difficulties tonight going live earlier as planned. I've had to pull the stream and start all over again. And I'll add the description later on after I've done the live. I know I'm running a bit late because of technical issues. Technology drives you a bit batty, doesn't it, at the time? Okay, so I don't know who's going to watch this, all right? I don't know if anybody started to watch it or if anybody picked up on actually this live going tonight at 9 o'clock now, 9:07 p.m. here in Australia. So what I wanted to share with you tonight is the reason why I've gone live. I wanted to share with you my personal journey of transformation this lifetime to where I am today. Okay, I wanted to give you a brief, long description. So I'm going to ask you to bear with me, everyone, and let's be patient. I don't know if what the quality of the video is for anyone who watches this. I have no idea. Or if you can hear me properly. So I'm just going to roll with this, and obviously there's no one on watching at the moment, and that's okay. All right. I wanted to share with you guys, I wanted to remind you, everybody, is that as a soul, we come down here to experience this life. Okay, good, bad, and different, all of it. All right. Now, I'm not taking away from anybody's journey and what they may or may not have been through, or whatever the case. And if I'm judged for this, then so be it. Okay, I have no issues with that. I do ask, obviously, I ask that if this live resonates with you, I ask you hit the like button, subscribe, and share the video around so that more people can see this and benefit from what I'm going to share tonight. Okay. All right. So if there's anyone online, drop a comment in. I don't know who's here. I'm still trying to figure out technology with YouTube when I go live as it is. So bear with me. All right. So I want to remind you guys that as a soul here, we sign up to come here for certain experiences that we go through. Okay, when we come down here to experience this beautiful world. All right, and it can be challenging, a lot of it. And I have great compassion and love for you, for anybody who has gone through a challenging life, as I have, as I go into my story of what I have been through myself personally in this lifetime of 56 solar years. So first, I want to welcome you to Awaken to Your Heart. I'm Sarath Knight. For any new viewers that are joining or wanting to subscribe, ask at your own field if you wish. I don't expect it, but when I drop a link down there, if you feel compelled to donate to continue supporting the mission here, so I can continue to keep supporting others on their journey to ascension and waking up to the truth of who they really are here on this beautiful planet. All right, powerful, multidimensional beings. Okay, so I'll get into it. All right, so bear with me. It's a long one tonight. Okay, everyone, and I'll do my best to get through it. And then towards the end, I'll give you keys of how you can help yourself, of how I help myself over this lifetime as well. Okay, and my journey to where I am today. Sharing this, sharing my life with you. And so I been here on this beautiful planet 56 years, 56 and a half years now. Okay. And I was born here, obviously. All right. I was adopted. Okay. I was adopted when I was born. Straight out. I was adopted straight out. As soon as I was born, I was adopted out. Okay. I was adopted into family with one sister, and my childhood wasn't great. Actually, it was quite horrendous. There were good times to it. There were good times, but a lot of it was quite abusive and quite traumatic for me. Now, as I share this with you guys, I don't want to. I'm not expecting sympathy or anything from you guys. I've worked through most of 90%, 95% of my childhood trauma, and it's taken me a long time, 7 years to get there, and but I got there in the end. Okay, so with a lot of help from people. Okay, so I was adopted. I didn't know my real parents. Okay. Um, it's not my intention to trigger anybody, and if anyone gets upset at this tonight, then please I ask you to leave the broadcast, and because it's not my intention. I have great compassion for anybody who's gone through a traumatic childhood, as I have, and I've managed to work through it. Both my parents are gone from this earthly realm, and they're watching over me each and every day as I keep walking through, and I continue to serve other people through their own childhood to help them where they can release and surrender back to themselves and release all that trauma. Okay. Okay. So my childhood was pretty horrendous, as I said. Okay. My father was an alcoholic. And during that childhood, I copped a lot of abuse. I was physically, mentally, and emotionally abused. There were times where I actually had been thrown up against the wall and held by the throat. I was whipped by a leather belt. I was thrown down the stairs because I just was. So what I want to share with you guys also, okay, is that when we come into this world, we forget who we are, okay, and we're programmed with conditions and patterns and programs and belief patterns on and like so. This is very challenging because at the end of the day, from our perspective, right, um, we're very programmed. The mind is like a computer. Okay, ready? This is what we came here to. We came here as spiritual beings to experience this world as humans. All right, in the divine remembrance of us coming back to our multidimensionality, our power within ourselves, and how to see and remember how powerful we are as creationary beings here. Right. So, so what happens? Right, is we come in, we forget, and we come in, we sign a contract, before we come down, say, this is what we're going to experience here to bring us back to ourselves, who we are. So, as I said before, my childhood was pretty traumatic. I had an abusive dad. He was an alcoholic. I don't blame my father. He came in with all sorts of a myriad of his own patterns and beliefs and stuff. And so did my mum, my adopted mum as well. Okay. So it wasn't an easy life, right? There were a lot of good times. Like I see, even as a child, I was, we went away on a lot of trips and stuff, and there was a lot of fun times, but there was a lot of horrendous times there as well, as I got in trouble for the smallest of things. I couldn't do anything right. I was constantly berated and belittled and pulled down and made to feel unworthy. I had insecurities. I had fear. All right. So even as a young kid. Now, from my journey, as far back as I can remember, I was drawn to science fiction. I was drawn to outer space. I always looked at the stars as young as I can remember, and used to think, this what else is out there? What out there? What is out there? Do I belong here? I felt like I didn't belong here, everyone. All right, and that was quite challenging from my perspective. Okay, really challenging because I didn't understand, and but I was drawn to a lot of science fiction. I was drawn to TV shows like Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica and Lost in Space and rocket to the moon, and I watched the man landing on the moon. You know how true that is. I don't want to go there. Okay, everyone's got their own beliefs around the the moon landings. Okay, so don't even start me with that. All right, fair enough. All right, everybody's got their own belief patterns. All right, okay, and that's fair enough. All right, so my mother worked a lot, but she did a lot of protection of me as well. Okay, she protected me a lot from my dad, my adopted dad, right? And as I said, I didn't know my real mum back then, and I landed myself in this family thinking, what the hell have I freaking landed myself into with this life as a child? I spent half my childhood in the bedroom crying in tears. Okay, and really quite fearful, even to the point of locking my bedroom door to stop my dad from coming in and beating me if I'd done something wrong that he didn't like. Okay. Excuse me. So my childhood was pretty full on, guys. And as I got into the teenage years, all right, I had friends at school. I went to primary school. I was teased constantly because I had black curly hair. People called me an Italian wog. I was teased constantly at school as well. I wasn't good enough. I did have friends. I was lucky for that in that respects. At least half of them were half decent for the most part. And when I got to the age of 11, or around about 11, 12-ish, okay, I was indecently assaulted by a friend of the family, a lady in her 20s. All right, I couldn't exactly remember the age, but and I got that happened to me as well. All right, it takes a lot of courage for me to do this tonight, okay, everyone. So please bear with me, okay? And I just did this on Facebook the other day. It takes a lot of courage for me to sit here tonight and actually share this with you, so you can understand that whatever you're working through right now in regards to your own traumas and patterns and conditions and programs and the emotional wounds you may be holding, I relate to you. I absolutely, completely, totally relate to you. And I have a lot of love and compassion in my heart for anyone that's still working through this, because it took me, like I said, 7 years. The last 7 years it took me to work through all of this stuff. It took me a long time, okay? My teenage years wasn't much better, okay? I still copped a myriad of physical abuse. I was a rebel. I did crappy shit as a child. I didn't understand it. I didn't have a mother that my mum didn't know how to deal with me, didn't know how to show me the ways of life, and neither did my father. I was introduced to cigarette smoking at the age of 16, 15, 16. Okay. I was introduced to alcohol when I was a young kid too. I don't blame my father or mother anymore. I've released all that. I'm not a victim anymore. I'm actually a survivor, where I actually managed to get through this. Don't ask me how, but I did. And I worked on tirelessly in healing myself emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually after the childhood I went through. I don't regret any of it, anyone. Okay, guys, I don't regret any of it. I experienced it, and it got me to where I am today. It got me where I am today. Okay. My teenage years were pretty full on. Like I said, there was a lot of good times and bad times in there. We did a lot of trips away and holidays and stuff, but there was a lot of crappy stuff too. And I did a lot of crappy stuff as a child too. Being consciously unaware, not sure, knowing that I was here for something greater and different and bigger in this world, not understanding it. I couldn't handle school. I did okay in the younger years of school. When I hit high school, it was like I struggled. I absolutely struggled. I really did struggle. All right. I'm not going to drag this out for too long. I'll try and shorten it down to as much as I can, but just give you a brief overview of my life, and then give you some keys of how you can help yourself, okay, through what I've been through myself personally, right? like I said to you, I had insecurities, I had unworthiness issues, I had abuse issues, I had abandonment issues, I had all sorts of stuff going on emotionally. I had programs, patterns, and beliefs, and telling I had to work hard to get to where I wanted to go in life, and all of this sort of stuff. Guys, most of you who watch this live would relate. Okay, totally. And like I said, it takes a lot of courage for me to do this on YouTube, right? I've never shared my story with YouTube. And once again, I ask you if this resonates, you hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and please share the video around so it hits the top of the mark on YouTube, and more people can see and benefit from the information and understand that they're not alone in this journey. Okay, that there is other people out there willing to share their journey, like myself, and help people to heal from their own childhood traumas. Okay, so I hit the teenage years. I struggled. I wasn't the smartest kid at school, and I found it quite mundane. Actually, I couldn't understand why. Okay, I couldn't understand why. Right. I was drawn to science fiction, like I said, but I also picked up there was a book back in the 70s called The Unexplained, and I was drawn to that too. I was drawn to all this weird stuff that came out back then, in regards to psychics and healers and people who spontaneously get busted into flames and ghosts and all that sort of stuff. I got into. Okay, and once again, I didn't understand why. I was intrigued me. I didn't understand it all. It intrigued me greatly, and I built a collection around that. A lot of stuff regarding that. Okay, which is pretty cool, and I enjoyed that. And I built a lot of models. Most of them, 90% of them, were space models, rockets, and all the stuff. Star Trek, whatever it was, Battlestar Galactica, all the rest of it, all of it. I built all these spaceships, right? Even it was crazy, but I loved it. I never regretted that because I kept myself pretty much in the bedroom most of the time to try and stay out of trouble, and occupied myself with things that actually I enjoyed. Okay, which is building stuff, right? So okay, so I got to I turned 18. I'd started to drink and got myself into more trouble. Okay, with that as well. I was a regular little hoon once I got my license. I was a hoon. I was a rebel. I went around screaming around the streets in my car. I wrote off numerous cars in my life, destroyed them, totaled them pretty much. I nearly died in a couple of them, actually. I was very lucky I didn't. This goes to show how well protected I was. But I went through a pretty horrendous time even when I got my license and started driving. And I used to scream around like a maniac, right? I don't know how many of you would relate to this or not. Okay, everyone. But at the end of the day, pretty much that was my life. All right. At the age of 19, I joined the Royal Australian Navy here in Australia, and to escape the myriad of abuse and torment that I was getting in the family. And Mum was happy for me. My mother was happy. She was happy. I actually finally found something I could get into that was going to be my saving grace for me. But unbeknownst to me, I carried all of that childhood trauma right through into the Navy, right through into my marriage. Okay, until I started to actually find my spiritual path. Okay. Navy was very difficult for me. I didn't like discipline because I was pretty much a rebel and I didn't like being told what to do. So that was very challenging when I did the initial training for that. So it was pretty full on for me, everyone. And so I joined the Navy and I traveled the world. And in between that, actually, before I went away, or not long after I went away, my first ship, actually, my mum passed away. My mum passed on. She left this earthly world, this earthly realm, and left home to go back home. So that was another trauma in itself because mum was my saving grace during my childhood, and I was hoping to have her uh, see me get married and have kids and all that sort of stuff you want a mum to do, right? You know, just to flip back. So if I go back and forth, guys, don't be concerned. I'm just remembering bits and pieces as I go through. So if I flip back and forth, don't be concerned, okay? It's just because I'm remembering bits and pieces as I go. So it's a bit of a jumble, but I'll get there in the end, all right? At the age of 12 or 13 too, I had discovered that I was adopted, and that pretty much ripped my life apart too, because it's like, well, who the hell are my real parents? Who the frick are my bloody real parents? What is this adoption thing? What the hell is going on with this? So that was another trauma I carried with me for many, many years, not knowing who my real parents were. Not knowing who my real parents were. And finding out not from my parents, but from neighbors. No less. From my neighbors. Can you imagine the amount of trauma I went through in that period of time? Some of you may relate, some of you may not. So that was another trauma and another a belief, another condition or pattern or program is like abandonment stuff, right? Because I didn't know who my real parents were, I didn't know who my real mum was. That blew me out of the water. So I also carried that through on top of that into the Navy. And in the Navy, I caught more abuse. I was tormented and bullied, and so for anyone out there who is working through a myriad of patterns and programs and conditions and belief patterns and stuff, guys, trust me when I say to you, I relate and I understand you guys, because it's not an easy journey, right? It's downright freaking hard. This isn't an easy planet to be living on from a spiritual perspective. But if you can get through this, and I know most of you can, right, as I have, your saving grace will be coming back to you and reclaiming your power, because you're a multidimensional, powerful being here. So I went through the Navy. I got married while I was in the Navy. I got 4 children, okay, and so that was pretty amazing. The marriage wasn't great. It was up and down. There was good times, bad times, once again, just like my marriage. Everything I didn't know about reflections, I didn't understand about patterns or conditions or programs even back then. So even though I didn't want to be like my dad, parts of my dad came through with the alcoholism and the mental and emotional abuse to my kids and my wife at the time. I'm single now. I've been for 3 years. Been divorced for many, many years, for 7 years. So I had my challenges with my kids, even trying to be the best dad, not understanding the journey of why this was unfolding for me. Now I'm going to skip forward a little bit, guys. I'm just giving you a brief overview here so you can understand how I can relate to you and what you may be moving through yourselves, okay? So at the age of 35, I discovered my spiritual path when I was guided to a meditation group. From there, I met made a few friends, and I got the Celestine Prophecies. That was the first book I ever got to read, Celestine Prophecies. Then I kept getting the rest of them as I walked through this path. Okay, Celestine Prophecies, and then the 10th Insight, and so on right through, right? And I read them all, but it certainly intrigued me, and in some weird way, I understood it on a soul level. I don't know how, but in some weird level, I understood it on the soul level, right? And it was pretty freaking amazing from that perspective. Okay. And so, for anyone who's gone through a horrendous life, it doesn't matter what age you are, guys. I'm not discriminating. You could be 24, you could be 35, you could be 46, you could be 56 like me, who's been through a horrendous childhood like myself, okay? And so what I want to share with you now, my journey I started the healing when I was about 45. I started to find spiritual people who came in my life to help me heal my emotional traumas. I went to spiritual people. I went to counselors. I went to spiritual counselors all along, trying to sort my life out and understand where I needed to unravel my traumas and my patterns and stuff. Okay, I haven't been a great person. I haven't been a great person at all. I've done crappy shit too, and I take responsibility for that. I must say to you, I nearly ended up in jail, actually, guys, during my life here. I nearly ended up in jail. In the Navy, I traveled a lot in the Navy. I'm just going to skip back a bit. In the Navy, I traveled a lot, and I got to experience different things in this world as well. Different countries. Got to have a great gratitude and appreciation for other people and how they live, especially in third world countries. Okay, not an easy process. I'll tell you what, when you see how other people live in this world, it's not an easy process to try and process through that, because if you're living a great life and others aren't, then because you being an empath, I feel greatly, and I have great compassion for people who have less of a life than what I have, and many others out there do. So now I'm going to ask you guys again, if anyone resonates with this live tonight, please, I ask you to drop a comment underneath. I ask that you, at your own free will, please share the video around, subscribe, and hit the like button if this resonates with you. Okay, I will get I'll get the PayPal link, and if you feel compelled to support my journey further, then please feel compelled to drop a donation in as well. Okay, all right. So I was an alcoholic most of my life. I didn't stop drinking till I was about 45 or 50. Okay, I know 45. I didn't stop drinking till I was about 45, give or take. I don't remember time frames. It's like a million years ago for me, right? I had numerous businesses I tried to run after I left the Navy. In 1995, I left the Navy. I moved up to Queensland here in Australia. And I had a pretty challenging life trying to get my life back on track then. I was still an alcoholic to some degree back then, having parties and being a wild child even when I had kids. So judge me if you will. Judge me 9 ways to Sunday, as they say, right? I've had a challenging life with patterns, programs, and conditionings, all right? Okay, guys, it hasn't been easy for me at all, right? So anyway, I'm going to fast forward now to 7 years ago in 2015, right, where an earth angel I had met after I left my wife years before, and I met this lady, came to my door. I met her on social media, and we got to know each other, and I was given keys for the 4-year time period that we were together. Keys on how to love myself. Now, bearing in mind, guys, a lot of you have got a lot of stuff overlaid on your soul of experiences, whether it be programs, patterns, abuse, trauma, childhood stuff, whatever the case. Please, like I said to you, I have a lot of love and compassion for anyone out there who's gone through this, right? Seriously, it's not an easy process, okay? It's downright dirty and it's downright hard if you really want to dig in there and you're willing to dig in. I was stubborn to a point, but I also was willing at the same time to go clear it, as painful and as crappy as it was, trying to work through the ego aspects of my mind, right? All the unraveling of the programs and everything, the conditioning and stuff that I'd been put through, emotional manipulation, narcissism, mental manipulation, okay? Controlling conditions, all that sort of stuff, okay, guys? Seriously. All right, it took me 7 years. So When people talk about self-love, it's about loving your thoughts. It's loving the mind, the ego aspect of it. Okay. It's loving all the experiences of what you've been through. Now, even though short-lived that was that journey that I took with that beautiful Earth Angel over that 4-year period from 2015 to 2018, 19, give or take, she gave me a lot of keys, and a lot of those keys was loving yourself, not from an egoic way. It's not about sitting in the mirror and say, "Yeah, I'm so fucking great." Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's loving all your flaws. It's loving all of you that you are. It's not being a people pleaser to others either. Okay, it's knowing that you're absolutely freaking worthy of the greatest love for yourself. Now, a lot of people are a lot of fear is, a lot of people will be unraveling fear, and fear is a false expectation appearing real. Because truly, at the end of the day, the angelic realm have got your back. God's got your back. God loves you. Angelic realm loves you. Universe loves you. Okay, but because we're made up of energy, when we put that energy out, and our thoughts create our reality. Okay, which is what I was doing back years and years ago because I didn't have the pure intention. Whilst I loved myself to a point, I didn't understand the concept. Because we're taught to kill the ego. We're not here to kill the ego. We're here to listen to the ego. We're here to embrace the ego. We're here to laugh and bring the ego into peace with our heart and soul as we unravel all of this stuff, okay, everyone, right? And it's not an easy process. I seeked NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, for many years to get guidance and assistance with unraveling. I did the work, but because I wasn't aware of what I was working through, even on a deeper level, it's like an onion, everyone. When you peel the onion, there's more layers, more layers, more layers, more layers, more layers, okay? It's not an easy process. It's downright hard, like, as I said before. And I get it. I relate to all of you guys, seriously. All right? And so basically, in day, self-love is basically knowing you're worthy of the greatest love of you for yourself. It's being your own best friend, okay? It's being your own best friend, right? And pretty much at the end of the day, it's about you knowing that you are not your thoughts. You're not your thoughts. Those thoughts were implanted in you from your parents, your friends, school teachers, colleagues, right? Work colleagues. It's all been a part of your journey to remember who you are, a powerful, divine, sentient being here with the power to create such beauty, it would blow your mind. Seriously. With such power, you'd blow your mind. Because each and every day we're creating from our thoughts and from our heart. But when the mind comes into alignment with the heart, then you come from a pure place of love for yourself and for what you want to create in humanity. Now, I've been on both sides of the fence here, everyone. I've been on the crappy side and I've been on the good side. So I find myself in the balance. I've been poor. I've been rich. I've been abused. And I've abused. I've been lied to and I've lied. I've been cheated on and I've cheated. I've been angry and sad and I've been happy and joyous. You can't understand the dark. You can't understand the light until you understand the dark, or vice versa. It doesn't matter. It's either way. You can't have the light without the dark, because the stars don't shine in the light. You got to have the dark for the stars to shine. Okay. And I did this in a video ages ago when I said about the two wolves proverb, of the Native American Cherokee. Okay. In this process of ascension, okay, everybody, it's a challenging gig. A lot of you are going through a lot of stuff right now, and I have great compassion for you for what you're going through, okay? Seriously. And I honor your journey, all of you, no matter what you're working through. But the greatest gift to give yourselves is self-love. Walk away from toxic relationships and toxic jobs and things that no longer serve you. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, you're meant to be free and sovereign. And I sit here tonight free and sovereign within myself for the most part. I'm still working through intricate layers, absolutely. But you're not your thoughts. Okay? You're not your thoughts. They're programs and patterns. You're just unlearning and relearning new ways. Okay, family of light. Beloved hearts, you are. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we're here to bring forth a beautiful new world where we have peace, love, and harmony. I don't know how long that's going to take. I'm not going to give you answers. But the more you shine the love for yourself in your own blessed heart, the more this world will shift. We're not here to change people. We're here to accept them as they are and love them as they are. But not put ourselves in harm's way either, okay, guys? Because unconditional love is for you to look after yourself and take care of yourself each and every time. Because when you put out that vibration, energetic resonance, that unique energetic resonance of yourself out there in a beautiful, loving way, you're going to attract that to you. I can't say what experience each individual is going to go through here. I can only go on what I've been through myself personally as I share this journey with you in raw, real transparency, authenticity, and vulnerability, okay? So that's my journey. That's my story in a nutshell, with some keys to help you. It's a not easy gig for everyone, and I have great respect and honor for each individual's journey here, of what they may be working through, learning through, whatever the case may be. The experiences they're going through, good, bad, and indifferent, okay? Life is a gift. Everything is a gift here. No matter how you look at it, you're not a victim. You're a survivor. Every experience you guys have gone through, no matter what it is, and take it from me, I know, because I used to blame everything. There's no one to blame. You came here to experience this. I took responsibility for myself. I nearly ended up in jail, guys, because of my behavior back in the day, years ago. 13 years ago, and then nearly ended up in jail. I've treated people poorly. Absolutely, I fucking have. Absolutely, I have. But I've helped a lot of people too at the same time. So I've sat on both sides of the fence. Judge me if you wish. But you know, if I can do this, each and every one of you can do this as well. You can move through this, you can get through this. Ask for help, but don't never be afraid to be asking for help. Ask for help, ask for support, find the right people, ask the archangels, the angelic realm, ask God to help you. Because God was there in my greatest despair. God was there in my greatest despair. And every time I got shown the way, every time I got shown a path, and every time somebody showed up in my life to help guide me further along the journey where I was meant to be. If anyone of you out there believe you can't do this, you can do this, because I've done it. I sit here tonight shining a light for you all to guide you home to your heart and to the love that you are as a multidimensional being of love. to reclaim your divinity, reclaim your freedom and your sovereignty for you. To not allow yourself to be controlled or told of how you can live your life, how you have to live your life. I'm free. For the most part, I'm free. Yes, I have mundane stuff I have to pay, bills, rent, petrol, right? But emotionally and mentally, I'm free. 95%. I'm still learning through every experience all the time. But 95% of the time, they're good experiences. And I attract a lot of beautiful people to me now. Lifting your vibration, lifting into the good experiences, guys, is letting go of the old experiences, letting go of the past, surrendering back to you, surrendering the past, surrendering everything you've gone through and acknowledging it and saying, you know what, okay, I went through that. If you want an abundant life and a peaceful life, it starts with you, everyone, as it has with me. It took me a long time. I'm still, like I said, I'm still learning and growing. We're still, growing and expanding through every experience here. But you can do this. So tonight I share my journey with you. So you can understand how I relate to you or whatever you're moving through. Self-love is the greatest gift you can give yourself. Loving those experiences, loving the ego aspects, listening to the ego, understanding the ego, and merging it in, saying, thank you for that experience, but I don't want to do that. You have a choice here. You always have a choice. What do you choose? Do you choose to live from fear, or do you choose to live from love? Because ultimately you have the choice. Once again, I thank you for anybody who watches this live tonight. And I ask that if this resonates with you, hit the like button, subscribe, share the video around, please, so others may benefit from this information. And if you wish, then I'll drop the link underneath, and please feel compelled to, if you feel, drop a donation to continue supporting my journey here, so I can share more information with other people out there to help them gain further clarity on their life and how they can move forward into a prosperous, abundant, beautiful, peaceful, joyful life. I send you my infinite peace and my blessings and grace and ease, everyone. I love you, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.